Boom, we're live. All right, Paul, welcome. What's going on? So today I'm just kind of hanging out here practicing. I have been crazy sick for the last like 10 days. Sarah and I have both been sick, and I am not up to doing a full show. I'm definitely not up to breathing in a bunch of stage smoke. And I've hardly played guitar. I do not believe I would be playing well if I were to actually attempt to play one of my albums right now. So I'm going to sit here and practice, screw around with stuff. If anyone's got any questions, feel free to ask. I can remember all my triad shapes. Apparently not. Woo! This is the stuff I've not been practicing all week. This is the kind of stuff, normally like the first thing I'll do when I get up is, first thing is usually just practicing scales and drinking water. That's typically the first thing I do on any given day. And I have not been doing that this past week and a half. I think the first 2 days I was sick, I was in bed like 20 hours. I hardly ever get sick, so I don't know how to handle it. Do not know how to handle being sick. I'm not good at it. We were talking about that. Sarah was saying, oh, you know what? My guitar is not actually coming through the sound system. I need to rectify. Oh, I know exactly why. I can change that real easy. Boom, that should... There we go, there's the guitar. Okay, that should be coming through to you guys now. That'll help. Yeah, so... We were talking about that. Sarah was saying, that she has a lot more experience being sick than I do, so it's actually a little easier for her to kind of work through everything. It's like that's true. I might actually open up some sheet music. So I've been writing, even though I'm not done with album 65 yet, I have been writing albums. Well, I've written like 4 or 5 albums, but I just started a while back writing album number 66, which is going to be titled Schizoid Paraphernalic, the title my daughter came up with, which is an awesome one. I think I might just pop that open and see what's going on in there. See if I can find that. Yeah. Not even sure how much of it I've written. I think I've written like half of it. Triads are coming back a little bit. know if I've actually played. It looks like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I've got 7 of the 11 songs composed for album 66. That's kind of cool. Destroy It All. This is the last song on the album. Did I do that on purpose? I feel like I could probably do that a little bit different. So sometimes when you first write something, you may put it on a different part of the guitar than you'll end up playing it at. That might work okay. Yeah, I think that makes a little more sense. Could show you that. So that's the sheet music I'm fiddling with when I write this stuff in. And so I basically had these up on a different set of strings. That looks a little better. It's kind of a cool little. What's it called? Hey, happy Friday, Xena. Thanks for coming in. These are called sus9 chords. Something I've always really liked. I'm a big fan of 9 chords in general. What else do we got going on in here? And for anyone who's just coming in, like I said, I've been explaining that I've been really sick over the last week and still not up to doing a full show. So I'm just kind of practicing here. Right now I'm actually just kind of looking through some sheet music for an upcoming album and just kind of playing with some ideas from it. Just rearranging some things here on my screen. So I don't know how long I'm going to be on today or what. Next week I should be back to normal and just doing a normal full show, and that'll be nice. But yeah, man, I think until like last night I played guitar for probably like 45 minutes, but prior to that whole over a week, I just hardly touched it. I did continue to teach because that fortunately I only do online in this configuration, so I don't have to worry about getting people sick, but I don't think they were probably the best lessons I ever gave. This room is awesome. This is like so embarrassingly cool how much just awesomeness I've got in here. I mean, you guys see that from the show perspective, not usually with as many lights on. So yeah, it's a great room. And the setup I've got that you guys don't see, the part that I'm using, is just absurd. And you know, one thing that I've really done a lot in life is just try to appreciate all of the awesome things that I really do have. And the fact that I have a life as a musician is incredible. And, I've heard, and it bothers me, I've heard, music teachers and professional musicians doing what I consider whining about their lives. And I'm like, no, just don't. Not around me. Because our lives are way too good to complain about. This is, yeah, I've got it pretty good. There's some cool riffs in this. Yeah, this is some cool riff. I think I can play this, and it should. This is like a. So the audio programs I use, they don't always cooperate very well with one another. Particularly Sibelius, which is what I use for sheet music. It's a really expensive program, and in my opinion, it's not worth it. There are a few things it has that I really need it to do that I couldn't get from other programs, but it's really an audio bully. So if everything isn't brought up in just the right way, then Sibelius does not cooperate with other programs well at all. And since I've had all kinds of audio applications running over the last couple of days, it's probably not happy with everything it's seeing in my computer right now. So that's fine. I'm just kind of, like I said, kind of poking around in here and fiddling around. There's nothing important going on here today. My brain's just not up for that yet. So next week we'll be back to our normal happy Friday riffage and making things happen. But yeah, that looks like a cool song. What else do I got? I know that this song, I Thought I Was Someone Else. This is one that I felt like I was going to have to work on. So I don't know if I could play back, then I might get a better sense of what I was doing there. But I think I wrote like 2 or 3 different things for this intro. I don't know if I was ever happy with any of them. But that happens all the time when you're writing music. You just rewrite it. That's part of the game right there. I've done that many times. Oh, so that's interesting. I did that on purpose? I think I did. Yeah, I can work with that. Cool. What else do we got here? Lost at Sea. Ooh, that's exciting. Ooh, we got some triplets going in this. What's happening there? Like this. Going to be a good little bit of timing on that. I like this thing that I've done here where I go back and forth between triplets and straight time. Often when I start a song out with a triplet feel, I'll know that that's coming up in my own work, but it can be a little awkward getting the timing right. And typically these songs I'll have to practice a few times before I record them. I don't have my timing right on that. Fortunately, I'm not, I don't have to have my timing perfect right now. I got some good riffs coming up in this upcoming album. I have been working a lot on album 65. Anyone who's been following that knows that I've had an interesting journey on that particular album, and now moving into the realm of being one of my longest term projects. And I've really kind of gotten down to where I've got most of the things I wanted on it correct. And the main thing was the lead guitar was sounding very kind of dry and brittle to me. And I ended up hearing back from an engineer, Scott, from Chernobyl Studios. He's a very cool guy. And he gave me some really good tips that has helped out a bit with that. So, still don't know when that's going to happen, but still working on it actively, and it is sounding pretty good. What else do we got going on in this album here? I got my title track, Schizoid Paraphernalic. Like I said, my daughter came up with this title. And with a title like that, I really wanted to kind of try to capture that kind of very, busy kind of a feeling with the guitars. So I've not played this before. That's going to take a little bit of practice. See, and this is the key to it. For anyone out there who may be an aspiring guitar player, you get a riff like this, it's like, okay, I can play this fast, but I'll show you the riff here. So that's what I'm working on there. That's in standard sheet music and tablature for anyone who might be looking for it. So it's quite quick at 140 beats a minute, 16th notes. So that's one of those things where you just slow it, and as a music teacher, I tell this to my students all the time, just slow it down. And that little thing where I jump down to frets 1 and 3, that I can tell, because that basically, one of the things I look at when I'm working out how to play a piece of music is, where does my hand change position on the guitar? So this can all be done in a single position of a hand, and this could be done in the same position as that part, but this kind of is its own little new hand position. Now I could potentially, and this is a possibility that I would consider, move those down to fret 6. Now it would all be in a single hand position. And so that might be a little better option actually for that. But still, that what you do is you start playing through it slowly. You figure out where you got to change your hand position. I think I'm liking the no change of hand position in this. I think that's kind of working for me. Yeah, that works a little better. Yeah, digging that. Now here, like starting from fret 1 to fret 6, that's a pretty significant. So that's where again you might put that fret 6 and put that up here on fret 1. And then you always need to use a little bit of caution when you do something like that. because you stand this chance of turning it into a chord. And so you need, when you're using the multiple strings like that, how am I trying to say this? When you have a single note run, you only want to hear notes. You don't want to accidentally turn that into a chord. So you kind of got to watch how you approach your finger selection and your positioning on the guitar when you do a riff like this. And then this, I think I'll probably keep. This will be a cool riff when I get it up to speed. This I think will be quite fun to play. Yeah, I'm liking that. I can work with that. What else we got going on here? Make some adjustments in my sheet music as we go along. And that's really common. Like I said, you write something and then you actually get it on guitar and you're like, oh, here's a little better way to do this. Now, sometimes there are some really good reasons why you would actually play something in a more challenging position, because it might work better for, like I said, like not accidentally turning things into chords. But in this case, I think this will be better served by making the change. So that's what I'm going to do. That's how I do things, kids. And another thing, for those listening along, when you're working with these programs, save often. I've already saved this multiple times while talking to you guys, because when I was working on Confusion, my first album, up in Riverside Studios in Granite Falls, Washington, I was working up there late at night, and I was working on the song Mental Floss, and I did like 4 hours of work, and I didn't save it, and the power went out for 20 seconds, and that's all it takes. And that 4 hours of work I had to do over, so I cussed for a while, and then I brought the system back up, and I went to town, and I spent probably another 2.5 hours to get all my work done again, because I knew what I was looking for. But it was 2.5 hours I would have rather spent doing something different. So these days, I was telling one of my students this a couple months ago, that I actually turn off autosave on all of my programs, because I want it to be that if my work doesn't get saved, it's because of me. I want it to be 100% Randy's fault, the mad poet screwed up, and it serves him right. Because that way, I have to force myself to know what's going on. And so I have worked to where I am just saving all the time. I oftentimes don't even know it. On my main programs, my sheet music and my recording program, I've actually set it up so just the number pad, I just hit the number 0, and that saves. So I've only got one key to hit to do my full save. And in the last 2 years, I don't think I've ever lost more than a minute of work, maybe. Last time I had a power outage, which we don't get too often here, but I did have one a few months ago. Just one of those blips that, just enough to shut everything down. I think I lost one note. I'm like, you know what? I can work with that. I can put that note back in. That's good. What other kind of riff do you got in this song? That's kind of cool. So I'm in F minor, and I went down to so I'm on an E flat chord. Okay, so I got kind of a sharp 6 going on here. I like that. That works well. Some cool stuff. And this will take a little while to get this stuff worked out, but this is good. thrown off here somewhere. But still, I know this has got some good riffage in it. I'll have to play through this a few times before I record it, but I'll get it. I'll get this. What we got here? Interesting riffage. This is going to be a cool song. I don't know if that's come across very well here while I'm just sitting here fiddling with various parts of it, but I think this is going to be pretty kicking. What we got here? So here I'm basically, I've got this real high speed stuff, then I got some areas where I just kind of let things drop down. I've never liked the thing where there are bands out there that just go for full speed 100% of the time, and I feel like you need some ebb and flow in your music. You need some rise, it can't be just all 100% all the time, because then that just becomes your average. And there's nowhere to go from there. So I like the rise and fall, some ebb and flow to the music. This one, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. This will be one of the more challenging pieces. Just some of the chord movements, and particularly the chord movements with the timing, the rhythmic and harmonic together really make a big difference in how a piece of music can potentially flow. And that's something I feel like we sometimes miss as musicians, is what is the effect of the rhythm and the harmony together. And then of course the melody in this would be the lead guitar, which is just kind of improvised for the most part. So now this I should have some light distortion going. Okay, I got some syncopation going here. 1, 2, 3, Interesting, I guess. Kind of missed something on the... There we go, that looks better. And still saving often. Oh, that's nice. Oh, okay, I see what I'm doing. So I basically got another of those sus9 chords, and I just add in the octave as a doubling up higher. Oh, then I'm adding in an 11 on that one. That's kind of nice. That's gonna be a nice piece. Looking forward to hearing some of this stuff. really like this. That's gonna be cool. What is this one called? Are you sure you're not a product of my imagination? I come up with such awesome song titles. What else do we got here? Haven't written this one yet, but it's called Barfing Blood from My Eyes, so that's obviously going to be a good song. Object of the deepest scorn. That's a good little. That's kind of. He's got some good stuff coming. I like this. I like these riffs. Oh, what's this? What's going on up here? Got a bit of a slowdown and then some. A lot of 9 chords in this. Does that have a better place to go? That might work better. I don't know if that'll work better or not. Oh yeah, that'll work better. That's gonna be nice. That is gonna be really nice when it's recorded. I'm digging that. Break section there. occasional little place where I need to make some adjustments to what I wrote in here. And a lot of times it's just that didn't copy things over properly or whatever, so I see things in one place that I should also see in another. Easy little adjustments. Oops. And I have this set up for in between songs on my normal shows that are triggered by the keypad numbers 1 and 2. And I've realized that no matter which window is active, if I hit either of those keys, it does. So if I hit the key 1, basically it starts scrolling through all my cameras, but my other cameras are not set up right now. So I've just got the 1 going. I think this album's going to be pretty cool. I haven't looked at it for a while. I kind of wrote this stuff, here and there over the last few months, and I probably haven't looked at it for a month. And yeah, I'm kind of liking what I've got with some of this. It definitely was in a 9-chord mood while writing a lot of this stuff. But like I said, I don't mind that because I think 9 chords just sound awesome. And there are a couple different ways you can do 9 chords. You can do an add 9 or a sus 9. And I like them both. Very much like them both. This song is called The Curse. Because I'm just hard like that, That's kind of cool. It's interesting too, because I wrote this stuff, but then I just kind of set it aside and didn't do anything with it. So it's kind of like discovering it for the first time, even though I technically should know what's in here. I haven't touched it for a while. I like the 6 on that. Okay, that's how that rhythm should sound. kind of cool. This has got kind of a good feeling of kind of changing pace throughout. This is one of those. I've talked about this in my live shows before. You know, I kind of changes the pacing of the music to make it feel like there's a tempo change, and like this. You know, this is a really common. It's called a Gallop, and it's really common in heavy metal. And in this, you know, I take that idea, kind of cut it in half, and this was more like maybe a trot. And yeah, I like that. There's the kind of change of pace throughout here. What else do I got? This is the first song. So I've kind of been going through these in reverse order of the ones that I've got written. The first song on the album will be called A Slow Descent into Madness. It's going to be a funky little rhythm to do there. That'll be good. And that's all based on Blind Guardian, a band I just absolutely worship. And they very commonly do this kind of rhythmic feel of kind of... And I've taken that into my own kind of directions, but very much Blind Guardian inspired. And so I haven't done one quite like what I'm seeing here, I don't think, but that'll work well when I get it there. I think one of the big things on this is going to be picking direction. If I get my picking direction right, it's going to make that segment much easier. And the main thing is, so I go down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up. That will make it. It might just be easier on these actually to start with an up, down, up, down. So I'm starting on an up pick every time, which is often a little awkward for guitar players to kind of start on an up pick. We normally start on a down, and it's just kind of a normal feeling for how we kind of operate. You know, we start things by stepping. That's a downward motion. We're often putting a pen on paper or putting our hands on a keyboard or whatever. So the downward motion is kind of a sense of starting, and musically is no different. So oftentimes when we're starting on an up strum or an up pick or something like that, or we're starting on a beat that would normally be an up pick, or we're starting on an off beat, oftentimes that can kind of feel a little awkward. So it takes a little extra practice to get into that. But we always work it out. I'm liking this. I think I'll be pleased when I finally get to this album, whenever that turns out to be. And what other kind of riffs do we got in here? I've already played that. Cool. Well, I think I'm going to do something here. I'm not sure how many people are watching, but since last week we only had an audio stream and I didn't actually play on it, and this week we're kind of having just a little silly kind of a stream here. I think I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see if I can open something up here. And for those who are watching, unannounced, I am going to play one song off of the upcoming album. And so we will have a little bit of a premiere here, and those who didn't tune in to the cool show don't get to hear the premiere, and that's just too bad. I guess they could go back and watch the video later. But let me see if I can get I need my sheet music to open properly for this, and hopefully this will work. Let's see what happens here. And I have kind of played a few of these songs. I had a thing, God, this was probably 8 months back or so. I had got on and I was going to finish recording the lead guitars for this album. And I was just gonna do it on stream. It was like, it was one of those, like, you know, an oddball kind of a stream. And so I got on stream, and to this day I do not know what happened, but all of my recordings were gone. I had to record everything over again, and I have no idea what's going on. So, and I had not backed it up. Normally what I would do, particularly when I was doing my album a week project, I would, you know, do a full album and then throw it onto my external hard drive. It's all backed up. Well, this project took so long that I actually needed my backup to happen. So there's only a couple songs on here I would be willing to play. So let's do, and this one will be changing a little bit. There are some synths in the background that I'm not sure if I'm entirely happy with. So those will likely be changing a bit. And just like throwing in some different synths or whatever. Oh, and look, I've got someone on Nemo who has just followed me. Bow Baby. Yes, I do see your comments, and my apologies for people on. I'm actually streaming to 12 different websites, and so I apologize if I don't see anything on any particular website, but I just noticed that someone has followed me on Nemo. So thanks for tuning in. Most of my viewers happen on YouTube and Twitch, but I do have some people on, looks like, Facebook and Nemo today. So that's really awesome. So this, just so for anyone who may be new to the Mad Poet streams, this is not a normal Mad Poet stream. My normal Mad Poet streams are a lot more lights, like you see in the back. I get all my lights going, and we usually have some smoke going, and I play my full albums. But what I'm about to do here is I'm currently working on my 65th album. It's called Incomprehensible Isolation. And that particular album has taken over a year, which is kind of rare for me. Some of my albums I've done in as little as 5 days. And some of the albums that I'm happiest with I've done in as little as 5 to 7 days. So I'm just gonna play one song off of that album, and just kind of for fun. So I have not played this. Actually, so I was thinking about doing Almost Invisible with the synths, but let me take a look. I think instead of that, I'm gonna play a song called The Devil Believes in You. Am I a producer? No, not. Well, I self-produce my own albums. The music I play and compose is mostly heavy metal. So I am a producer in the sense of I do self-produce my own albums. So I do everything from composition to production, engineering. I'm the recording artist. I, program the albums. The instruments I don't play, like the drums, in any synths. Like in some of these songs, I have pianos and harpsichords and strings, and that's all produced. But I'm not a producer in the sense of it's commonly used in music as a beat producer, which is often more in the R&B hip hop kind of a realm. Can I play some? Because now I start to learn. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's excellent that you're learning any instrument. And I'm a music teacher as well. That's kind of my primary thing. And so learning any instrument is always good for people. And I strongly encourage you to learn guitar, learn about music in general. So this is a premiere, just an impromptu premiere of the song "Almost Invisible." I'm going to play the fourth song on the album, which is called "The Devil Believes in You." And this actually has that same rhythmic device I was just talking about that I've been inspired by Blind Guardian with. So I'm going to shut down my microphone, and we're going to play "The Devil Believes in You." And I'll see you on the other side. All right. So yeah, I did accidentally shut off the microphone there. In rock music, you only play bass strings. No, not necessarily. It's really it can be quite comprehensive how much of the guitar you tend to use, and it really depends on the context. So certainly in the lead guitars like I'm playing here, which I'm improvising, I'm making that stuff up as I go along. I'm using everything, high notes way up here, down to the low notes and everything in between. And it's going to largely depend on the context and also the guitar player. And it does, of course, depend on the music as well. You can certainly write a rock song that is all on the low strings, and you could write something in a very low area. But then, sometimes you may even have a rhythm guitar playing something up high like that. And so there are a lot of options potentially there for what a guitar or any instrument really can do. And we often think of certain instruments as having limitations that they do not necessarily need to have. And we sometimes don't recognize that by intentionally putting limits onto our own music, we can make it a little easier to do things. So for example, with one of the limitations I often work to is that every 17th album I do has only one song on it, and that song is always exactly 52 minutes 25 seconds. So I've done 3 of those so far, my 17th, 34th, and 51st albums. They're all called asymmetric writings. And so I know when I write my 68th album, which I've written part of already, that's already in place. So I have to write a 52 minute, 25 second long piece of music. You play ballads the most. It's quite weird. Yeah, well, and there again, there's a very significant difference. If you're playing more ballad-based music, then you're going to have a very different approach. And certainly some of my music is much slower. And so I'm trying to think of the on any given album of mine, you're going to hear at least 1 or 2 slower songs. And for example, on this particular album, the one that I just played, there's an album there's a song. The 8th song on the album is called "Unknown Acquaintances and Lonely Strangers," and it's a very light piece, and it's not going to have guitar in it for the lead. It's actually going to have a saxophone, which will be a first for me. I've never recorded saxophone on my albums before. But yeah, on any given album of mine, there are probably going to be 1 or 2 slower pieces. This album is fairly upbeat throughout. The song "A Silent Prophet," which I think I might play later tonight. I do 2 shows every Friday, noon and 8, Pacific time zone. And so I think I might play "A Silent Prophet" tonight in the later show. And that's a kind of a medium-paced piece. Also, the song "Something in My Eye" I would kind of call a medium-paced piece. But I think the "Unknown Acquaintances and Lonely Strangers" is really the only one that what I would call a slow piece in here. Play music as soft, slow, and chill as much as you can. It looks like we have also got another person on Nemo. Thank you very much for the Nemo viewers. That's really awesome. And of course, anyone else out there that's watching on any of the channels. I've never had interaction from most of these channels before. Like I said, most of my interaction has always come from Twitch and YouTube. So this is just very, very cool. Oh, okay, Kitty's okay, excellent. That's very cool. So we got Bell Baby and Kitty, and if anyone else happens to be tuning in from anywhere, thank you very much. I think I am going to go ahead and close this stream down, and I'm going to be doing a similar, just kind of a really chill stream later tonight, just kind of practicing, getting back in the gist of things. For anyone who's just coming in, the reason I'm doing things a little different today is Sarah and I have both been sick over a little more than a week now, so it really kind of punched us really hard, and I'm not quite back up to where I want to be breathing in 2 hours of stage smoke and jumping around like I normally do. So How often? I'm live on Nemo every Friday at noon and 8 Pacific. So what I do is I do what's called multicasting or multi-streaming. And so I stream simultaneously to 12 different websites. And so that's, what's the full list of sites that I do? See, I'm playing to, let's see, Vaughn Live, Picardo, Nono Live, Nemo, 2 different Facebook pages, YouTube, Twitch, DLive, Trovo, VK. I think that's the full list of websites. So those, I just go to all 12 of them every time I go live and just kind of see what happens. Yeah, the best one to do it on is Twitch. So start there. And if you go from Twitch, you can find my Discord. And in my Discord, there is a full list of all 12 sites that I go to. So let me pull up my Twitch channel and give you that address, because that's the best place to get to everything. So I'm also going to put in my YouTube channel. Hopefully I can make this work out. And on my YouTube channel, you can find all of my albums are there. So there is my Twitch and my YouTube, and hopefully those come through as links and should work out for you. Where am I from? I'm from Washington State in the U.S. The biggest city near me that you might be aware of is Spokane. So I'm kind of in the eastern part of Washington State. And I used to live in Western Washington, closer to Seattle. And we moved out to the eastern part here not quite 2 years ago now. We really like it. It's a lot quieter out here. And I know I'm a heavy metal guy, so sometimes people are like, why are you looking for quiet? But yeah. And that is, yeah. So everyone out there, thank you very much for coming in. Thanks to our new viewers on all of our platforms. And if I had any followers or anything that I did not see, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I love having people check out what I do. And like I said, tonight we're just doing kind of more of the same of what we're doing here. And I will also premiere, so to speak, another song off of the new album. And until then, yeah, have a great day. And I will see you all, hopefully, very soon. Thanks.